What's up, guys? It's your girl, Victoria J. from 12th Street Talk Back, where transparency is our love language. You guys know that transparency is very important to me because I believe it's the key to bridging the communication gap. Bridging the communication gap in our community amongst our generations has been very near and dear to my heart for a very long time. And I've been working feverishly to spark the hard conversations in our community. As the world changes, people change, life experiences can change us. Sometimes it can be hard to express yourself to the ones that you love. We all suffered something during the pandemic, some more so than others. Life can be like an emotional roller coaster, and that's why I'm grateful to BetterHelp. Thank you, BetterHelp, for sponsoring this podcast. Guys, did you know with BetterHelp, you can tap into a network of over 30,000 licensed and experienced therapists that can help you with a wide range of issues. To get started, all you need to do is to answer a few questions about your needs and preferences during therapy. That way, BetterHelp can match you with a licensed therapist from their network. Then sit back, relax, and you can talk to your therapist however you feel comfortable via text, phone, video call. You can even schedule live sessions. And if your therapist is not the right fit for you for any reason, you can switch to a new therapist at no additional cost. With BetterHelp, you get the same quality and professionalism that you can expect from in-office therapy, but with a therapist that is custom picked for you. More scheduling, flexibility, and the best part of all, at a more affordable price. Get 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/12th Street. That's better, HELP.com/12th Street. I've also linked it in the description below. Let's start bridging the communication gap together. The Freedom Fridays 12th Street Talk Back, Season 5, first episode of Freedom Fridays Scale Chat. I'm your girl, Victoria J.
And I'm Miss Riri.
And that's Miss Riri. What's going on, y'all? What's going on? Welcome to another amazing season with us. I forgot to tell you guys that I was taking a little miniature break from my season 4 going into my season 5. So we've been gone for about 45 days. And you know what? Your girl needed that break, and I've been back in this for like a week.
Refreshed?
I did feel refreshed before I came back. I've been back in it a week. This my second week. And I feel like I didn't never leave and go nowhere. Everything just be moving like clockwork. But we gonna make it do what it do, baby.
What you can do.
What's been going on, Miss Riri? I know we talk on the phone, but we haven't FaceTime in like what 45 days. I see you cutting on that hair.
Did not realize it was that long.
Yep. Well, we talk on the phone, so it probably didn't seem like.
So that's why it doesn't seem.
What's going on with you, girl?
Well, first of all, do y'all realize anything different? I have light.
Yes, she has light. Let there be light.
What is this? You just said you're about to raise your hand. Up, see? Oh, let me find out. This thing is. Every time I put my hands up, I'm about to raise your hand. Okay. Let me find out. It's sensor control. Are you seeing it on your end when you raise your hand?
I ain't saying nothing on my end.
I'm not doing it.
Maybe it was a one-time gig.
Yeah.
Maybe it was a one-time gig. Yeah, let there be light. That's kind of how like I was. Look, remember when I kept telling you the computer was so slow and I got my new internet? I didn't know what to do. I had came up in the times. I didn't know what to do. That's how like you are now. Let there be the light.
Girl, I have a light. I have new light. They changed all the light fixtures in the house. So we have all new light fixtures from on the ceiling, except for the one by my front entrance. I was like, no, I don't want him to change that because I have a remember in the when I lived in that house in Indiana, and I had
Mm-hmm.
that big spotlight. That's what I have in my entrance.
Oh
So I
wow.
didn't want him to change that because see, it is. There you go again. You're about to raise your hand. Let me stop putting my hand up.
It
So
ain't
I
happening for me.
so I didn't want him to change that fixture. So that's the only fixture that we still have that's old. Everything else are new fixtures. But with that being said, he threw away some of my light bulbs
I
because
know
he
you.
thought they were just the Con Ed light bulbs. He didn't know that they were the board. I have those remote control light bulbs. So he threw
Mm-hmm.
some away. But it's all good.
Well,
It's
you
all good.
got light. You got
But I
light.
got
You
light.
got
I got
light.
light. And now
You ain't got
I'm so used to
a.
not having light. I forgot. I was like, oh my God, my ring lights work again. I ain't cut them on right now. But this is just the overhead light.
Oh, that's the only on red light.
I only got one light on here. That's just the ceiling light bulb. The ceiling lights.
He better make sure he don't give Con Ed something else to talk about.
No.
Uh, hold that thought for just a minute. Hold that thought just a minute. I just, girl, you know how things be life, and as they say.
Girl.
But what's been going on with you, Miss Riri? Tell the people about the new adventures in your life.
Girl. Lots of adventures. So I'm still dealing with my new project.
How's that
Starting to
going?
order the stuff. It's it's going good, thank God, so far. So I'm ordering some more products, and then I have a pop up sale. That's what I'm going back and forth with texting now. My we started a new ministry in the church, and
Mm-hmm.
we're having and we started the Girl Scout troop. So we have
Mm-hmm.
my new ministry our new ministry is going to sponsor our new Girl Scouts, and for its first pop up sale. So we're gonna have a pop up sale December 16th at the church.
Oh, gosh.
So
What y'all gonna be
that's
selling?
coming up. We are going to be selling candy, whatever. I've reached out to like my family and stuff and been sending out texts. And Jonee does the tumblers and she does all that embroidery stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And they can rent tables. I'm gonna of course order patches, special patches with a troop number. And for the Girl Scouts, I'm not sure if they are going to premiere any of this stuff because I wanted to introduce them into making candles, deodorant, lip gloss. Oh God, it was five. Let me see if I remember. Candles, deodorant, lip gloss, soap, and essential oil blends. I remember all five. Amina,
Remember all
she's gonna be
five of
proud of
them?
me. She ain't even here, but she's gonna be proud of me because I'll be like, wait, did I forget something? So that's it. So if anything, if they don't premiere that, just what I'm thinking honestly is they can do that for the Christmas in July next year.
Mm-hmm.
This year, since it's our first annual one, because we're gonna peg it as annual, so that way it's annually. So since this will be our first one, I think the patches would be good
Mm-hmm.
for the sponsorship of that, and then Miss Tawana, my friend Eight,
Your
is
friend
going to
A.
make like the T-shirts and stuff like that, and then Jonay, the tumblers and all of that, and then I'm thinking about a photo booth, like a backdrop type thing.
Oh
And I'm gonna
yeah.
get my friend Marcella. She does pictures. She takes
Mm-hmm.
filming and stuff. So I was thinking
Mm-hmm.
about that. I was like, you know what, that would be nice. Like a
Yeah.
nice little photo booth thing. Like way back in the day. Remember like the street? I don't know if they did it in North Carolina, but they
What?
definitely did it here in New York. When you have like the backdrop and then they take the pictures on the. See, every time I raise my hand, it keep popping up.
Well, it ain't
And,
popping up over here.
so we're gonna do something like that. So I'm thinking about ordering. I have to find out from the school that I used to be affiliated with, where we used to get the personalized backdrops and all that other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Or I'll reach out to Girl Scouts and see if I can get like a personalized backdrop or whatever. And that I think that would be cute, like a little photo booth type
That
thing.
would be cute. I took some pictures in the photo booth in the mall with my daughter on my birthday this past
Okay.
August. It's so cute. I don't have one in front of me now, but it was so cute. It was so cute. That was the first time I've been in a photo booth in a long time. I was in
Yeah,
there acting silly, crossing my
that's what I was gonna say. I
eyes.
got like the selfie stick stuff, and make all the little funny props and stuff. So I think that would be cute.
I think the
Do
girls will
that, and
enjoy
then
it.
my cousins and stuff. I reached out. Anybody who was selling Mary Kay and Avon, and I have
So
my
is it going to be like a block party? Or is it going to be inside the
It's gonna
church?
be inside the church, and they'll be able. Well, you know what? I'm lying. It depends on the weather, because if the weather is nice, it might be whoever can brave the weather. It might be some tables outside to draw the traffic inside, but
Right.
primarily all the tables will be inside. So it might be like one or two tables on the outside of the church, just to
Mm-hmm.
draw the traffic coming from each end, and be like, well, come on in, come on,
I
and
know that's right.
and I was thinking, because even if we did that to brave the cold, it doesn't have to be that same one person. That could just be like the church's table or whatever have you. And so
Right.
whoever can go out there for like 30 minutes or 45 minutes, whatever. Just, that way we can just switch up, and it doesn't necessarily have to be somebody that feel like they have to be there because that's their stuff that they made or whatever have you. That might just be like t-shirts or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Well,
for
you know it's getting
that's for our
cold
ministry.
outside, so
Girl, you see, I got on long sleeves. Raise your hand. Let me find out. The,
it's cold down here, but today it's gonna be 68. Yesterday was freezing, and I was wrapped up. I had my cover. I done snuck and turned on the fireplace because if Will knew, he would kill me running up these bills. But I was sitting out. I came in my office back here. It was cold. I went in the living room. It was cold. It was cold in the bedroom. I said, well, I don't want to turn on the heat because I might forget to turn it back off before he get home. So let me just turn on the fireplace and warm up the living room. Yeah. Why I forgot to turn the fire? I was just in my
Are you
zen.
for real?
He didn't call me with the fireplace on check.
I
He
can't.
said, Victoria, you can't do that right
Yeah.
He said, put some clothes on.
And it's funny you say that, because Kayla I'm always like, oh my God, this was before the stroke. I'm so cold. And she's like, Ma, you ever thought of putting some clothes on? I'm the main one that be talking about I'm cold. I'll have on a tank top and a pair of thongs. Yeah, okay, whatever. Yeah, girl, I see. And that's all I'll have on. And I'd be like, it's so cold in here. And Michaela be like, Ma, you ever thought about putting some
Put some
clothes on?
clothes on. Like our parents used to tell us, put some clothes on. But look, you know what I was just thinking about? We really haven't talked. I've been busy with my church stuff. You've been busy with your church and the Girl Scouts. We really ain't talked. Like we talked in 15, 20-minute spans.
Okay.
We normally go for hours.
Yeah, but I was gonna say we did speak. But yeah, you're right. Like the length of time would normally speak longer. Yeah.
Because I would have been know about the Girl Scout stuff with the candles and the soaps and the deodorant. Did you say soaps? I know you said deodorant, essentials oils, candles, deodorant, essential oils, candles. Did you say soaps? I
Yeah.
know you
I
said
hope I
lip
did.
glosses. I know you said lip glosses.
I hope I said so. Let me write stuff down, because I will always. Deanna would have been proud of me when I remember all five. Soap, essential oil, candles, essential oil blends.
Blends, yeah. Well, I've been
Candles.
seeing you doing your little thing on the gram and the book of faces with your candles,
Yeah. With our
your
candles.
remake of your candles. I said, check her out. I said, I burn my candles down to nothing. So I don't have nothing left to remake them. Here lately, when it get down to be just a little bit and it's all liquid, then I'll dump it over in one big candle to try to make me one. But
Well, there you go. You doing it? It's the same thing.
and them wick that we ordered, girl, these wick is super long. I know I got mine somewhere.
I told
I
you.
feel like I'm wasting more
No, let me tell you what to
by
do.
cutting it. Let me
Cut
see.
them,
Was
but I
yours
also
this
ordered
long?
vases. Yeah, they very long. But I also ordered a box of vases, like so that silver part. You can just buy those. So when I cut it, I take the pieces that I cut, then I put it in that silver thing, and then I make like for my tea lights. And those are the ones that I'm definitely going to use for the Christmas in July for the Girl Scouts. Since they'll be learning how to make candles, that'll be perfect for them. And when I do it for my fascinator ladies, and I give out the candles for like their birthday incentives and stuff, I'm gonna do like the little traveling test. So when we travel and stuff, and I'm gonna do that in a metal thing, so you don't have to worry about it breaking or anything like that.
You
And
know what
that's
you
what I'm
just
gonna use
said,
those
right?
little
And
wicks
I don't
for.
know if you meant to say
I
that.
remember I said it because I seen you. I know I said it. I can say the name.
You
Because
can say the name.
yeah, I bought into the name, so I can say the name.
Okay. I'm excited about this
I can say the
adventure.
name.
I'm excited,
Yes,
Dan.
I'm
I'm
excited.
excited. I'm
I'm excited
excited
about
about
it.
this adventure. I am. Well, we both moving and shaking. I don't have as much as you going on. I'm doing a whole lot in my home church now. And I'm excited. I
That's
took on
awesome.
some big responsibilities. I don't know what, I guess since I done took on the role, I got to create the name. I guess you would call it audio operations manager slash
Okay.
mini hats. So dibbling dabbling with the podcast. And,
You
you know,
said
we
slash
always talk
mini
about,
hat.
yeah, slash mini hats. We always talk about our little mama's home churches. And you know, I
Mhm.
decided to start running up and down that road, going back to my mother's home church, which my grandmother and my grandfather built with their own hands out of
Man,
cinder
that's so
blocks.
impressive. That is so impressive.
And it's
That is
just
so
been
impressive.
amazing. They're not, you just talk about country like you talk about your mama being down in Louisiana. It's Chatham and it's off
Okay.
the map. It's in a neighborhood. You wouldn't know it was there. And if you don't want to go on the street, if you get lost at night, type deal, because it's curves and waves, but it's still there, and they still got members, but they need to come into the times a little bit. So with the podcast and of course YouTube, we gonna try to get them social media bound. Look, I got on my shirt anti-social media, but
Ah,
but I do think social media can be used as a great tool when used the right way. So
definitely. That's true.
uh I'm doing that, and guess what? I am loving just being able to be used. And I'm gonna
Listen,
take some mental
yeah.
notes from you and steal some of your little ideas down here in
Girl,
North Carolina.
then you better write as I speak, cause you know I don't be remembering nothing when I
Girl,
say. I
look,
be like, "Well, that sounds good."
you
When you
and you
said
and
that.
my aunt, I told her that yesterday. She had me taking some notes for her yesterday, and she was just rambling stuff off like you do. She was like, "You got a pen and piece of paper?" And I was like, "Yeah." So I thought she just wanted me to write down one thing. We on the phone, and she just rambling stuff off. And I said,
Girl, you gonna be the
"Hold up."
secretary. You gonna add that to your hat too, secretary.
I said, "My shorthand ain't that great. You bet. I can't even get. I ain't got the first word out. I don't do short."
Start recording y'all's calls, like when she does that, like a dictator thing. Is that the word dictation? Like you can
Yeah.
record it. Yeah.
Well, I might need to start doing the same thing with you.
Oh,
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. So we got
just
a
might
lot going
have
on.
to.
We got a lot going on. I do want to mention this while we're on here, though, since I don't do my show on YouTube. It will be coming probably in 2024. I'm not going to put a cap on it as a video podcast. But I mentioned it to you, so I want to mention it to the listeners. Y'all get ready. Just same thing with the cruise. We really gonna be ramping up, talking about the cruise in 2024. I don't know what this thing
Excited.
is
Come
about
on.
people that they feel like, oh, that's so long away. But it's really not the way time rolls in. And I also want to say we're doing a convention. Miss Riri already know about it. We're doing a church convention. So if you're in the North Carolina area, August 9th and 10th at the Benton Convention Center, we're having our second annual conference right here in the state of North Carolina. So if you're
And I'm going.
person of faith, Christian, whatever you want to call, and you want to come for those 2 days, it's going to be awesome, awesome, awesome. Anybody that's in the area that is in the ministry that want to be a guest speaker, I think we're looking for one more. You better catch me before she fill that spot. And we used to have them back in the day. Miss Riri and I weren't friends then, and I said, this is how God just does stuff. Because she was going to my church home sporadically, and that's the church I basically grew up in. Like, that was family. She was hanging out with my cousins, and we didn't even know each other. And then when we got to know each other, just passing each other in the club, and then me getting my hair braided, it was later on, I think we just discovered, maybe about 2 years ago, that you were hanging out with my general talk. And I was like, yo, that's my cousin. That's my first cousin. That's my second cousin. But I said all that to say, we used to have these conventions way back in the early 90s, and they were huge. I don't want to mention the church, but if you guys are from North Carolina, you know there's a big church out here. It was huge, and everybody used to come, and it was just a great time to fellowship. You know, with me being from Virginia, most of my relatives would come from Virginia, Detroit, New York, and it would go on that Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Well, this one is only going to be 2 days. We're trying to start that back up. So guys, if you're in the listening area, you're going to hear me talk about it a lot. You're also going to hear me talk about the cruise a lot, the one that we've got going for 2025, starting in January. If you hadn't already got your ducks in a row and reached out to one or both of us, or either the cruise line, you're going to be short. I think we got me, you, and maybe 2 others right now, or maybe 3 others right now. 3 others. So it's only 5 of us right now, but we gonna make it do what it do. Everybody ain't got last minute money. And my biggest pet peeve, and me and Miss Marie talk about this all the time. We as women always complain about how our plates are so full. We always let our significant others and our children and all these many hats that we wear keep us from doing stuff. Don't let this keep you from putting your down payment on. I'm just going to keep it real, because I don't have a bone in me that wants to lie, that has a need to lie. I've only paid $50 on my cruise, but I paid it in 2023, and I still plan on to continue to pay it God's will. So even if you take that first step, you ain't going to want to miss that money if you are ready to put $50 or $100 down on your cruise.
Oh, now I didn't do it. Now, okay. Let me see. You are about to raise your hand. Then it's a little button that says not now. And then it says,
I see it on my end now. It says Miss Riri Rody Boat raised her hand. View.
Okay. All right, so I'm raising my hand.
View. It says you raised your hand.
And just that fast, I forgot what was going on.
We were talking about the cruise. We was talking about the cruise. You was gonna follow up what I was saying about putting that money down.
It was a good point that I was going. Oh, how we put ourselves on the back burner and all that, and how we think we got so much time, and then when time comes, where I'm supposed to come with that much money or whatever. You start now. So 2023, we started paying on the cruise. The cruise is 2025. Definitely by January, definitely want to start making your payments, because it has to be paid in full by November. December. So that will at least give you almost a year to pay for that cruise. Now, the only reason why I paid on mine, because I knew I had another cruise as well.
Uh-huh.
And I haven't been paying on, what do I say, cruise one and cruise two?
Yeah, because you got two.
Okay, so I could just say the I happiness movement. That's me, and then the 12th Street Talk back. Could I just do that? Because
Yeah,
this
Freedom
was an
Fridays.
exclusive thing. Okay,
Yeah.
so I have to finish paying off that I happiness movement cruise because that has to be finished paid for by January. I think like 10th or some mess like that. And
Uh-huh.
that cruise is a little bit more because it's a 7 day cruise and it's it's just going to be me, so I had to pay double occupancy because I didn't want to share the room for that cruise.
Bougie.
Now for our tour street talk back. Oh, I had to say the bestie cruise, the BFF cruise.
The
So for the
BFF cruise.
BFF cruise, since we're sharing a room, it's not as much. So I can take a little bit more time and be more lenient. But I set myself up with a payment plan and I took like the gross amount and divided it out by how many months I have. And that way I know. Because for those who have a job, that's a beautiful thing. You have more control of guaranteed income. When your buddy is funny and you don't know when it's going to come, you got to definitely have yourself on a set schedule financially as far as how much. I don't know what's going to happen in my life, but I know the first X amount of money I come up with for that has to go toward there because I know I'm going for mental health wise. I know I'm going on these cruises, and that's going to be my thing. Every year I see me going on a cruise because of
I see
where my health
myself
is
going
at.
too.
Where my health is at, it just makes sense that everything is all included. I can't do all that walking around and moving around and all that other stuff. So at least with a cruise, if I never want to get off the boat, they
You
gonna
ain't never
feed
got to
me.
get up and.
It's entertainment on the boat. When I say it, if you've never been on a cruise, and I'll never forget my first cruise, I was like, the pirates gonna get me. I ain't going. They gonna have me hostage, and I saw all that stuff. Girl, let me tell you something. I was hating on the cruise. I was hating because remember I used to travel a lot.
Yeah.
And land trips. So ain't no way you gonna have. I move around like I'm somebody that likes to go. So I'm like, no, you ain't gonna confine me to no boat like that.
And that's how I'm thinking.
Cruise, I like to lost my mind. I'm like, yo, that's the thing to do. That's the way to be. I love a cruise. So with that being said,
that's how she got me into it, y'all. Because
I was loving
you
it.
Shouldn't have never took me on my first landline trip, and maybe I would be more open. Because you do have a little bit more freedom on that landline trip, though.
And your mind is just thinking a boat, held hostage. I'm on the water. I can't get off when I want to get off.
I'm gonna get eaten by sharks.
Yeah, well, see, I ain't thinking about the damn sharks. In order for the sharks to eat me, I gotta get in the water, and your girl don't share get in the water. If it was that thing for the Titanic, your girl gonna go down with the big shit. I'm just gonna pray to God somebody gonna rescue us.
I'm gonna be like the little old lady.
First of all, I get frostbite too fast. I get cold too. Winter, spring, summer, fall. You know I got to have hand warmers. So I get in that water.
Yeah.
I get in the water.
Who was it? It wasn't even a little old lady. It might have been a little old lady. I think it was the little old lady and the captain of the cruise. Yeah. He was in there. He done made him a drink. Like, I'm gonna die anyway, so ain't no need me going out there stressing out. And I think Jack went in there or something, or she went in there, and she was asking him about the rescue and stuff, and he was in there just pouring him a drink. Like, I got to see it built. I tried to tell them to take it slow. I'm going to be that person. I'm going to still be sitting at the buffet eating, because if the shark's going to eat me, they going to have a lot to eat.
Let me tell you. And it's funny because prior to becoming a parent, I wasn't conscious about, like, I would go scuba dive. Like, I would do all that stuff. I'm like, no, I ain't getting in the water. Like, now I'm looking for more common sense. Now that I'm 53, I'm not willingly doing a lot of things.
Yeah. Nah. There's still a couple things that I want to do, though, but
no,
being out there in that ocean like that is not one of them.
No, it is
but not. Maybe, like you said, it'll change me once I get there.
You should. Let me tell you, when I got on that cruise, that oh my god, I was like, yo, this is the life. And it's funny because that's what I was gonna say. Like when we would cruise, and you would see people of wisdom. That's the new word. That because
You
they
gotta
would
explain it to me.
I you see, I had to take a deep breath and stop. And the seasoned people, they would have their oxygen tanks and all this other stuff, and they would still be on the cruise. And they be lugging that thing
Huh.
around. They be cruising.
Yeah.
I'm like, they were old. Like, what they want to be on this cruise for? That's first board in the boat. Yo, by the time it's finished, you be like, I don't want to leave. I don't want to get off. And then you understand why. So now I'm gonna be with my walker and everything else, and I am looking forward to it. So I say all of that, and that was a lot to be said, all that to say. That's how I see traveling for me going forward, to
Mm-hmm.
guarantee myself to get away every year. I know feasibly that would make the most sense for me. I don't have to
Mm-hmm.
worry about like I said, if I don't want to get off the boat, then I don't have to get off the boat. Here in New
So,
York, right from Pier 81, I can take the Norwegian, and every now and again the Disney Cruise Line leaves from here. Like I can leave right here from New York
mm-hmm.
and do a cruise.
Well,
So that's
sporadically, hopefully going forward, we'll be doing it. Well, hopefully this one will be able to change because I really would like to go in a warmer month than May. I
mhm,
like to be what did we say? June, July, maybe?
June and July. I know for the happiness movement going forward, it will be in May, purposely in May, because well, I could say the color. The color's green. In the month of May, mental awareness time,
I
and
can't. I'm
being
gonna
clean
say.
around that time. So you hear Malika, he's like, I'm finished taking my bath, Mom. Okay, like so that's for mental awareness. I think that that's going to be important for us women, us
Mm-hmm.
mothers, us caregivers, us sisters, us daughters, whatever limb you are on that tree, to take a siesta, to just
Excuse
stop.
me.
And
Yeah.
again, if you want to get off the boat, great. If you never want to leave your cabin, great term. They
Mm-hmm.
gonna bring you room service. They gonna freaking put the little balloon. I'm not the balloon animal. The towel animals on your bed. Put chocolate on your pillow. Like it's you need it. You deserve it. You
Yeah.
deserve it. So again, that's why it's important to pay down on this stuff little by little to guarantee that you can go. I told my girls,
Mm-hmm.
listen, I have a picture on the wall. It's a young lady, and she's at a staircase. She's at the bottom of the staircase, and she's just looking up at the top of the stairs. We are good for looking at, okay, this way, the top of the stairs. Like, oh my god, I got to do all of that to get to that. But if you do a little bit at a time, and that's like I said with my payment plans that I put myself on, it's a little at a time. I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to get to the top of the staircase. But
Mm-hmm.
from where I'm at right now, and I ain't got a grunion to look at the top of
Mm-hmm.
that staircase, my
Mm-hmm.
cruise was some nice money. I didn't have that money. So that's why I had to start paying in the beginning of 2023. Technically
Mm-hmm.
speaking, let's be real about this. I have this Google cruise. The money on that cruise started out as a deposit from before I had the stroke. Because remember, it was going to be my 50th birthday. That was going to be my 50th birthday party. Instead
Mm-hmm.
of something that was just for me or renting a hall and people paying all this money for this outfit and da da da. And you still got to go back home to the same mess. I wanted it to be a vacation for all. So all that to say, I done had the stroke, so I couldn't go. So I moved that money again. Then I moved it. I was gonna go on a cruise with my sister Faye. Then we know what happened with Faye. And then I was gonna go on a cruise with Faye's daughter, my niece, and we was gonna I was gonna go with her family. And then that deposit has been on more vacations that I
Than you
have,
have already.
because that deposit has been moved around and around and around and around and around.
But that's the wonderful
That's
thing
another
about it. I'm
glory
glad
of a
that you brought
cruise.
that up
That's another glory of a
because
cruise.
even if they pay on their cruise this year and unforeseen circumstance happen, they can move that money, even if they want to move it to the next year, because God's willing. 12 Street Talk 12 Street Talk Back podcasts, Freedom Fridays, whatever spinoffs that I have, we still gonna be here 5 to 10 years from now. I'm speaking that in existence.
Well,
and you're gonna want to be. I remember when they first came on and they was just doing their YouTube channel, and now they mainstream and they've been doing this cruise. It's not going to be nothing new to you. So I'm just speaking that existence. But I'm glad you brought that up, because now they know they can move their money.
No, as long as it's before, like I said, my due date to pay the other one off is January 10th. So as long as you make any changes before your final payment is due, you're fine. So even if January 8th, I find that I can't pay it and I want to move my cruise to another date or whatever, move it.
See?
Now, once January 10th comes, now, of course, if you pay the insurance and all that other stuff, so a girl like me is, I don't pay cruise insurance. I'm just being honest. I don't do all that stuff.
Well, I don't know about that, so.
I just don't. But as long as I make any changes prior to my final payment. Now, once I make that final payment come January 10th, I don't care if I'm heaping and hollering and coughing and sneezing, I'm going to be on your boat. I'm going to be on that boat.
Oh, no, no, not hollering and screaming and cooping and coughing.
Yeah, she will.
Not hollering and screaming and cooping and coughing.
I'm going to be in the cabin by myself. I just won't leave the cabin.
Yeah, I'm
I ain't gonna try to contaminate nobody else. Now, as long as it ain't COVID or nothing that's definitely contagious like that, then that's different. Okay. But if
like the people that got stuck on them cruises doing COVID, remember?
I remember that also well.
They didn't have no food, they say. They was running out of food. But I can't imagine that all that food you say they have on cruises.
But if it's contaminated, then
they can't.
I kind of had a joke about that one. You know.
I walked right into that one.
But when it happened, and at that time I really couldn't eat, and I wasn't eating solids. I'm like, well, that wouldn't affect me because I had to drink the Ensures and the Pedialyte and the Nutrient. I'm like, I have my little food with me. My food was in a jar. Like, I could just sit there and shake my food up, and I'll be sitting there drinking my little stuff.
Look, you would have had one of the little ladies fighting you for your Pedialyte. Oh, God, let me stop. But yeah, I wanted to mention that starting off season 5 with Freedom Fridays Girl Chat, because we hadn't talked about the cruise and we're not letting it go. We thought the turnout was going to be bigger because it's almost like that people get excited and then they change their mind for whatever reason. I know things happen, but we as women, we need to treat ourselves. And I wouldn't even just say women, even men too. If your plate is full, because God knows, sometimes my heart goes out to my husband, being the only one that works, the type of work that he does, the type of hours that he works. Sometimes I could be a little bit more easier to deal with, because we were once out there in the world where we worked and had to do everything on our own. But at the same token, we need to treat ourselves. We need to be away from anything that reminds us of home. We need to be in some unfamiliar territory.
You know what's kind of sad too, though? And like, you'll work your whole life and you work hard, and you don't reward yourself. And then people get in their feelings about, all I do is work, and pay bills and
Uh-huh.
This is why it's imperative that you get up and you go and you do something for yourself. So again, if it ain't nothing but $25, $50 a week, and I'm not trying to count nobody money, so don't come at your girl, because your girl ain't gonna respond to you like that anyway. But
that's right.
It's easy to say we can afford it. We got all we do all this Uber Eats. We go out to eat when we got food in the refrigerator, but we just don't feel like cooking. We go even somebody like me that ain't got no job, I can't pass a Dwayne Reed without going in there. Like it really got something for me. I got
Mm-hmm.
to go in CVS and Walgreens. I got to do all that stuff. And so for me to leave my house, I'm automatically gonna spend like
Yes.
20
Mm-hmm.
$25 just to leave my
Mm-hmm.
house.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta pay the accessorize, like you just to
Mm-hmm.
leave your house. So think about it. Pay yourself. We don't pay ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
You have to pay yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And this is
We
just
do.
something you can do. Again, if you sit there and you like $50, $60 a month, and I'm just randomly saying it, but and you sharing a room with cabin mates on a cruise, and let's say it's 3 to 4 people in the room. Oh
Mm-hmm.
my God, yo, you
Mm-hmm.
you can do it. You
Mm-hmm.
can do it. The most that may have to happen is you have to have more. I say 3 people because I've never been in a room with more than 3 people, myself included. When my co-founders and myself from the Bronx Parents or Autism group, we used to oh, I used to like those cruises. They would have a cruise that would leave from New York, and it would just be like it would go out to like Bear Mountain or something like that, but it would give you all of the amenities like a typical cruise,
Oh wow.
entertainment and all that other stuff, and we would do that. And it would be 3 of us in a room.
Mm-hmm.
So I never did more than 3 people in a room. But Faye and I used to cruise. It would just Faye would have her cabin, I would have mine, because it was significantly cheaper if you left from like Florida and places like that.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
that cuts out your like me going on a cruise from New York. That's automatically like 7 days. Or, if I'm going to the Caribbean or something like that, that's off the bat 7 days because you got to get there and all that other stuff.
Mm-hmm. Shoot,
But
I was thinking about coming your way and leaving from your way they telling
yeah,
black folk to stay out of Florida. Even the NAACP telling black folk to stay out of Florida.
wow.
My
Better come
sister,
on
she
and pick
came
me
down
up.
in July because we normally have our memorial get together for my mom, and she had just came from Florida. She said it was just a total different experience, and they go to Florida every year to Disney or whatever, still as adults, and they don't have any small kids. And she said this time around, it just left a bad taste in her mouth, so she didn't think she's gonna be going
Wow.
back for a couple of years. And they go every year like clockwork. They go to Florida
Wow.
first and vacation, then they'll stop over in North Carolina and spend a couple days and then go back home. She said it was totally different for her this year, and she don't think she's gonna be going back for a while. And she loves Florida.
And it's funny because after I had kids, I always say that being a mother, you become more like conscious of certain things. Because they would always joke and she would call me a pedophile because you'd be like, yo, you ain't got no kids and you always going to Disney, like you going to these places that's like family friendly that you would take a kid. But that y'all, it's like you still, if you still have that Peter Pan complex within yourself, like you still like young at
Uh-huh.
heart or whatever have you.
Uh-huh.
It's a whole. When I became a parent and doing stuff like that, it was different because it's like, where's my like, like you got to look for the kid, keep track. You
Yeah.
don't really have that freedom because now you're
Uh-huh.
responsible for somebody.
Uh-huh.
So
Uh-huh.
it's a whole nother
Well,
deal.
they still have that young, you know,
And that's a beautiful.
that
I
young.
hope she never leaves that spirit, that Peter Panness.
Well,
I hope she never loses that.
you and her
I think it's
birthday on the
so
same
important.
day, so
I'll
y'all
shake
a
a
lot
little.
alike. Y'all a lot alike.
Let me tell you, stroke it or they was like, if this is you sick, and that when I was like sick, I'm talking like so can't see from this side, can't move from that side, bed down, and they was like, if this is you sick,
I hate to
I
see
can't
you
even
well.
imagine you well.
I know, right?
Can't
I
even
don't
talk.
know.
I'm all stuttering, still trying to talk, and I like to talk. Can't even freaking talk, and I'm still trying to talk.
These
And still
look,
trying to.
these people don't know what I deal with off camera. I just told you yesterday on our brief 5 minutes. I said if we could have some of the conversations on camera, we
Woo!
have off screen. Jesus, we would have these people rolling. But
Oh my God.
I tell you what I do want to talk to you. I do want to talk about, and I'm gonna leave it alone after I talk about this. I'm gonna talk
Dear
about.
God. Did I do that?
I ain't even gonna talk about it. Let's move on. I done changed my mind that quick. I done changed my mind that quick, Sheldon.
Oh, oh.
That's
Wait,
an
this thing was
inside
laughable.
joke.
Wait, let me stop laughing, and then I'm gonna wait. Let me stop laughing. I can't. Now I'm gonna keep laughing though.
I done changed my mind that
So,
quick.
all right, so look at me. Look at me. You got.
I ain't messing with
You. It's like you played for what? Something. Like what?
I bet you didn't even thought I remembered that, did you? Oh God! Oh God! I was dying. I was in here rolling.
Fix your face. I'm like, my face is fixed. What are you talking about?
I was in here dying because you know that's my show. I used to go to sleep on Sheldon every night for Where There.
I still do.
Me and Will would OD going to sleep on Sheldon because
I
Sheldon.
still do.
It don't matter what you're going through in life. He just would just. It was just something about that little boy. It's something about that little boy.
No.
But girl, I'm gonna tell you. We need to get back to some of that though. Right.
Yo, and I know my mother would always say this, and that's sometimes I be putting that as my hashtag. You got to laugh to keep from crying.
Mm-hmm.
And as a child, like you so many things we remember from we can quote that our parents would say. But when you got that young mind and you really haven't experienced life, like you have to keep from crying. What you crying about? You ain't paid a bill at first. Like you ain't did nothing. You working and you keeping all your little money for yourself. You ain't paying no bills. Because my mother was an adamant person with you not paying. You ain't got to pay no bills in this house. And whereas you think that how your mind be so messed up, that was dictatorship. Because she did that. So now you ain't got no say in nothing. You don't own nothing in here. It's all still mine. So it's just like you don't really get it. Like
they don't get it. No, I just talked about that on my second episode of 12th Street. I didn't really talk about it as a topic, but I included it in. I did a genre thing. I don't know if you heard about the young lady from New York. She was a college student that she was supposed to have a 6-hour layover in Dubai on her way to Turkey. And when she went through security, she had on a waist trainer belt that was prescribed to her from her doctor. Apparently she had some kind of back problems or something. It had metal in it. And they detained her and strip searched her and tore the belt off of her because of the metal going off. But she nudged, not hit, not, trying to get her friend's attention. I need to get me some help. And they detained her and almost sentenced her to a year in the Dubai prison. Well, come to find out, they said that most of those airport people are corrupt. And if they think you remotely look like money coming through their airport, they do little stuff where they can have your lawyer make a deal. And, she ends up spending like over $50,000 just to get out of that mess, just on a 6-hour layover. But I talked about that. I also talked about the young man from DC that got shot and killed while going to get his mother's medicine.
Yeah.
Of mistaken identity. And then it got me on a roll for what you just said. And I was like, I was listening to Sarah Jake Roberts and her mom's last year's Christmas special. And all of the stuff that's going on, and just like what you just said, it was a whole different era, like back in our day. But I think sometimes that our kids do need to cut us a break because they forget that we were once teenagers too. So that the stuff that they think that we don't know or up on times, and some of it we don't know because they moving fast. Like,
These kids are different. I'm
but I
telling you,
think they
I
need
have
to
three
cut us a
kids,
break.
and my three kids, my three daughters, are 5 years apart. And just those 5 years apart, nothing about them is the same. I tell you, I laugh all the, I joke all the time with that. They don't eat the same. They don't walk
Mm-hmm.
the same. They don't talk the same. Like, yo, I sometimes when I see my two little ones together, I be ready to introduce them to each other. Like, I forget that they know each other. You don't know how many times I really be ready to, I'm not even like playing. Like, I'm for real. Like, really ready to like introduce them. I'm like, they sisters. Like, they know each other, but they
Mm-hmm.
don't. No, they not the same. They different. They different. So them 5 years apart. Now you, me in my 50s, like, oh, like seriously? So I
Mm-hmm.
done been, like I always tell them, I've been each and every last one of y'all's age. Ain't near
Mm-hmm.
one of y'all been my age yet.
Mm-hmm.
So where you at, I at least have some kind of, if it didn't happen to me, it happened to a friend, it happened to somebody, or I was warned against that. Like
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm here to tell you.
They just
No, they
but
know better. I was about to say, when you start
privilege.
smelling your own fault, you start smelling your own fault, you forget you wet behind the
Yeah.
ears
Yeah.
because you ain't got a pot to piss in or a window to throw it
Mm-hmm.
out. I brought you in this world. I take you out. I be the first one crying over
Mm-hmm.
your grave. Mama said, I still remember
All I'm
all that.
saying. But you know what? I think what it is, the world did move fast, but as well as their world is moving fast, because this technology thing, I mean, it's done blew everything out of the water from what we're used to. So they have to keep up with that stuff. But it's at the same time, I think one of my guests on another show said it best. She said, we're not raising children anymore. We're raising young little people. They have skipped the child age because there's so much introduced to them in society. We kind of got to deal with them on a level of a parent, which makes me sad because they miss out on all the enjoyment that we enjoyed. Even though our parents were strict, we enjoyed life. We enjoyed kickball and baseball and volleyball and gym and getting the latest Jordache jean with the wood rider boots. We enjoyed shopping at the mall with our parents for Christmas and out of school on those breaks. We enjoyed that stuff, and for them, they had to grow old into so much. It is like we're raising little people after a certain age. I just heard a young man. I was so disappointed. One of my neighbor's kids, and she doesn't even think this about her child, but I hear him saying a lot of stuff that probably we did too when we were at our parents' site. But it's just mind blowing some of the stuff that they can say or do at such a small age. And I'm talking about like 8, 9 years old. And
I'm gonna
my
cut you off
heart
right there
bleeds
for a
for
minute.
them.
I have to because I just want to say this. Our level of respect was a little different. Some of the things that, and by no means do I mean we wasn't saying some of the things, but we might say it to each other. But if
Yeah.
an adult came, we shut up. And hi,
Uh-huh.
yes, no man. We was
Uh-huh.
kids
That.
now.
Yeah.
They'll tell you to suck it just as fast as they telling each other to suck, like they don't
Yeah.
care.
Yeah.
So our
Yeah.
level of respect was different. So that's
Yeah.
why it's mind blowing. Something even within my own household,
Uh-huh.
it's just like,
Uh-huh.
wow, like it was that introduced to,
You know,
especially
I was
the
having that
Malakas.
conversation with my youngest. She's 23, and she said, you were strict. She said, but you were strict cool. She said, and I still think out of all your sisters and brothers, you're the cool mom. You're the cool aunt. Like, you try to keep up with the times and you understand. You're easier to talk to. But you were strict as a mother. And I tried to find the balance because I'll never forget my mom saying to me when I used to get on her about, you ain't never let me get away with that. And she let my children get away with stuff. And she looked at me one day and she said, times has changed and I have to change with them. She said, there's no more of those go get switches off the tree and beat your children because you go to jail
you have
quick.
BCW, ACS, or whatever you want to call your little case manager people. Some people will come at you so fast, but I'll be here to tell you, I'll be the quick one to tell you.
But piggybacking off what you said, I just heard that. In my neighborhood, it was an adult and two children. Two adults and two children. And just as hard as those adults was trying to chastise those children, and I'm telling you, they can't be more than between the age of 7 and maybe 11 or 12, and that's a big maybe on 11, 12 side. They was hurling stuff that grown people don't say. They were hurling words, and then what got me was I went and asked my husband. I said, "What is this word?" I'm not going to repeat it because he speaks a little bit Spanish. And I know that your husband is fluent in it.
He's fluent, yeah.
And he said, "That's a cuss word." I said, "Well, he said to the little boy, 'You stupid. You don't know how to.'" He said, He said, "You stupid. You don't know how to comprehend in Spanish or English." And then he called him the word, and I asked my husband what it was, and I'm like, man, these young kids cussing each other out in Spanish and in English.
No, they will fluently curse you out. They will fluently curse you out.
But it makes me sad because, you remember growing up in your mom's house, there were certain things that you couldn't watch. Now, I snuck and watched the soap operas, but you let my mom catch me watching the soap operas. When it was time for her soap operas come on, that was grown people's stuff. You didn't sit around a TV before 4 o'clock. God and Light came on between 3 and 4. After 4 o'clock, you can sit in there, Andy Griffith, cartoons or whatever. But between 12 and 4, every one of those episodes, I don't care what channel you worked at it on, between 12 and 4, with the exception of maybe a 30-minute news break, it was soap operas, and we couldn't watch TV.
We still joke to this day. My friend Marcella, Marcella. Well, I don't know if you ever met Marcella, but I know you heard me talk about Marcella. We were getting ready for school or whatever, and she came to my house. This is when we were young, and all she said was "but." She cursed. She said the word "but." My mother said, "Oh no, darling, we don't talk like that here. Yeah, we say bunky, or you can even say bunka." We still talk about that to this day. We laugh about that. You would have thought she said something hard. Because my mother was like, because she was like, "Oh no, darling, we don't talk like that."
Yeah. Well, that's the same thing with the word lie. That's how we had to say you told a story.
You a story. And that's what my mother, you told a story and storyteller. I would always get it messed up. My mom, no, you're a storyteller. Like you like to tell stories or whatever. But so it was just like, even that had a difference. Because I'm like, say to me it's the same word. Because I'm literal with words. That's my thing. I'm like real literal with words. But you can't say lie. You told a story.
You say
you a storyteller. Is like, no.
It's just it's a different world. We talked about it before, but it's just, it breaks my heart. It does. It breaks my heart. They just it's nothing that we could do even if we wanted to because of technology.
It's not. There was a picture that me and I looked at of my room. Not my room, sorry. Of my living room. And we had the encyclopedias and it was a really, really old picture. And she was like, "There's some thick books." She said, "Y'all didn't have Twilight back then." Like it was, so it was like a funny conversation because it was like, what are those thick books? And I'm like, serious.
Mm-hmm.
So when you sit there and you act serious up, that's what that is. That's serious.
Mm-hmm.
You have to look. And God forbid, once them things got obsolete and outdated, yo, like that was it. What you gonna
Mm-hmm.
do now? And
Mm-hmm.
we didn't have no what do you call it? Like we all that phone stuff and internet and
Mm-hmm.
Wi-Fi's and
Mm-hmm.
no. You have to
We ain't
really
had none
like
of that.
you had to know how to read. You had to
Yep.
know how to do this.
Mm-hmm. I'm
Paper
gonna
cut
tell you
my
what.
butt. You were sitting there looking and going through them pages. That's what you were
Mm-hmm.
doing.
And you ain't have no your saliva was your page turner. And then you gotta write it down. We didn't
Yeah,
have
listen,
all of
that's
that.
why book reports and stuff was like that was for real back then. That was for real back then. Like you really
Yeah.
had to read some stuff and you really had to do it. Like we wasn't no talk to text and all that stuff then. No.
Mm-mm. That's what I said. But you know, once the computer system came out, it wasn't as popular then as it was now. I just say people of another race could afford it more so than most races. With that being said, it made it very difficult to keep up with our kids in the lifestyle once computers came aboard because they was sneaking watching stuff that we couldn't possibly watch in our day and
Honestly, in
time.
my opinion, it kind of dumbed out our kids, and it definitely made our kids lazy. Most
Yeah.
definitely, because now kids don't want to go outside. Like it, God forbid they go to a place where ain't no hotspot, no zone or whatever. Like yo, they like to lose their freaking mind. And it's
Girl.
funny because even case in point, the little one, she went somewhere and she didn't have a phone. And Michael's like, well, how are we going to communicate? I said, Michael, we had no phone. Like the lights was our phone back then. Like, and we survived. But
Uh-huh.
now we're so used to that stuff. Like, oh my
Uh-huh.
gosh, they didn't take a phone. Like, what were we doing? Yo, it's just like, you lose your head.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Lose your head.
I'm gonna tell you what, my bishop made a joke in church. He said, I bet you half of y'all don't know what a rotary phone is. While the adults was laughing, the teenage kids was looking around like, what is that? That's how far, I mean, I guess it was amazing to me because I guess the things that our parents used to talk to us about, and we used to look at them crazy and be like, what is that? Our children are doing the same thing to us. Like, what is that? And who has a landline phone? And speaking of which, I just got a landline phone because it was free. That's look.
I did, girl. You know, I was very related when I had to get rid of mine. I like to lost my freaking mind because I didn't really know, like, especially working for the phone company, like, for a fact, like, you have to keep a landline because, God forbid, the towers go down and you can't use your cell phone anymore. You still want that. So that's just you know. But it's just like, I look at the kids and, like I said, they're all 5 years apart. And my little one, Miana, was like, if Malika would make any type of reference to Leap, because when Leapfrog came out, that was Malika's substitute teacher. It was Leapfrog. She
That
could
was
teach
my
them in
kids
the
too.
school.
Yeah,
Leapfrog. Oh my God,
that
I
was
love
the
me some Leapfrog.
bomb.
I had Leapfrog everything, Malika, and we still have a lot of stuff, the books, the movies, like everything. Miana was not that kid because Miana was in that era of technology.
Yep.
Like you definitely wasn't giving no kid. We had what was that phone I had? Star Tech or whatever that phone was, the flip phone. Like we didn't have no Apple. Like, it wasn't none of this. So, but this is all Miana knows. This is all Miana knows. Malika was not taking my black and white Star Tech phone. She was not doing that. You can't. A kid didn't even think about asking a parent to hold their phone. You didn't even think about that. Now you see the babies they got phone, like
babies. Kindergartners got cell phones. Cell phones,
and
they own
tell you,
iPad.
as tight as I am with my kids, and it's because I'm not going to use it because I don't think I'm strict. I'm just not your friend. That's just bottom line, and that's what would make me seem strict is because I'm not trying to be your y'all. I don't know about an old person being a young person's friend. I just don't. I don't know that part of the deal. I'm not looking for a 14-year-old friend. I'm not looking for a 19-year-old friend. I'm not looking for a 23-year-old friend. Not interested. We ain't got nothing in common. You ain't got no kids. That's my kids. Like it ain't nothing we got in common. So all I can be is your mother. That's it. That's it.
That's true. That's
I
true.
hear
That's
my
what I was saying. I wasn't trying to, and I said that to say exactly what you said when I said on my last episode, my second episode of the season. The bad stuff gets so much light shed on it when it comes to our children, but there are good children out there because the young man, Brandon Gant, that died, when I seen his stuff, his mom's interview on the news, I mean, just one wall of her house with nothing but trophies and medals. And I mean, gewgaws. I mean, it had to be over 100 or more trophies or medals there. And I said, this is what I'm talking about. A good kid. And I'm not saying that all children are bad. That's not what I'm saying. But you guys know the rebellious child. And then the one that does kind of sort of do what their parents want them to do. It's unfortunate that we had to learn about who he is and all his accolades because someone decided to snuff his life. That's very unfortunate, but you can pick up your cell phone. We can pick up these phones and we can see everything that's bad, everything that our children want us to put out there. And then I followed it up with this, and I kind of wasn't sure where I wanted to go with it, but this is a new season. This is season 5. I'm 52. The more I listen to people say what they want to say. So now I got the mentality like my mother used to say. I didn't get this old not to say what I wanted to say. And I say it with love. Just like you said about, I'm not, and I used to tell my kids that all the time, I ain't here to be your friend. I'm here to be your parents. Then when you get out of my house, we can be friends. But as long as you're in here, I'm here to parent you. And I said that some of our kids, don't get me wrong. I think mental health and mental therapy is a great thing. My sponsors for the show are mental health sponsors. But I don't feel like everything that some parents do is lumped in with the mental health thing. Sometimes it is what it is. I'm just your parent. I'm not with this new generation stuff. So I don't know how to be your friend. I don't know how to sit down and have a conversation with you about X, Y, and Z when it's in the adult realm. Like, I'm supposed to be your provider. I'm supposed to love you and provide for you and make decisions on your behalf until you're able to make them for yourself. Does that make me a bad person and I got all this stuff going on with me mentally that I need to go sit in front of a therapist? Or why can't I just be that parent that is strict? Or I wouldn't even say strict. Let's scratch strict. Let's just say, why can't I just be that parent that wants the best for you, that has gone through some things and trying to take you around the corner and up the block instead of head on into where I know you're going to bump your head. And that's just how I feel like. I feel like, our lives, it's never been our lives, but a lot of things in our lives, even in our own homes, is not ours anymore. Like, the government already took control over our finances, and back in the early 90s, it was our children. Now you can't spank your child, and it's just so many things they got their hands in that they're not willing to help you with when you need them to come and help you so that your child can make it through this thing called life. You put all these rules in place. Is a division between the child and the parent of a certain age. And then there's the authority right there in the middle. And we're kind of lost as parents too of what we can and could not do. And how do we change the narrative for our children to be the good people that we want them to be, that we know that they can be. But because we got little wiggle room now, we don't have the same wiggle room that our parents had. It's kind of like, I don't know that I could raise small adults or young adults right
No.
now where I'm at in my life.
You know what? I have my kids. Don't get me wrong, and this is by no means don't come at your girl because I can respond. But I'm not telling people don't have kids.
Right.
You gotta repopulate the world. Don't get me wrong with that. But with that being said, your mindset definitely has to change because the kids that I have today, I can't raise them the way my mother raised me. Case in point, when your parents don't give you something, and I probably said this before, I talked about this conversation, and I'll never forget my brother, who's the girl's godfather, worked on a soda truck way back then when we were young. And I'm like, here we got all this money, and my mother's like, you ain't got nothing, you ain't got no job. So I guess she wanted to head me off because my face, because we ain't sick, but you could think something because she's quick to tell you better think it. And don't let me think that
girl. Yep, knew that one too.
So I guess my face was looking like I was thinking, well, you ain't got no job either. She had me off with that real quick and told me what her job was. And I'm like, damn, she got a lot of jobs. And don't technically get paid for now one of them. So with that being said, when you have kids or when I had kids, this is like, oh, I'm just going to give them this and I'm going to give them that because if I got to give it, then I'm going to give it to them. You understand why everybody is not meant to get stuff. Sometimes people do need to work for certain things. So you can understand possession and why it's yours. I didn't have to pay bills and all this other stuff, and I had my own phone line and all this other stuff. So I grew up thinking that I'm just supposed to do all that for my kids. I ain't got them kids. Because I learned, as we all learned from that then, your friends ain't going to treat your stuff the same way you're going to treat it. They're not going to respect your stuff. So we knew how to safeguard our stuff. Wasn't nobody going to come here and break up my stuff because you got to go home and leave me with this broke stuff.
And God forbid if it was your parents and they broke it.
So
and you had to explain why.
I'm supposed to give my kids stuff. And their attitude is they worked for nothing and they just want more. No matter how much I was giving you, you just want more. It's like, well, damn, it don't never stop. It don't never end. So that's why you just can't be giving, just like they say, give the cow away for free. You just can't be giving stuff away. So that's why, and I learned. So even with my kids, and God knows, let's say, case of one, I took the end of Florida. God knows her saving them little nickel. No, she's a funnier one because she brings this up. One of them American Girl dolls.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
I had her save up money, and we went to the American Girl store. And when I say she had to pull out every nickel, quarter, dime, pennies, because she ain't had no dollar bills. And the lady got to count it and all this other stuff. And I'm sitting there like, she ain't got nothing but time because this is paying customers, and this is what she came up with. Of course, me and it was short, and I paid for the stuff. But I say all I can say, that dog gets treated a lot different. Leanna got every bit of 15 American Girl dolls. That particular dog though is treated differently than all them other dolls. Why? Because she bought that doll. Now she ain't technically speaking by that doll. I paid for that doll as well. But with that being said, as far as she knew, she paid a service. She did a job. She did a service, and she got paid for that service. That was her money. That's her job. So her mindset is a little bit different with that. So we just can't be giving. Unfortunately, not everybody could just be giving stuff.
We done got way beyond that now. I mean, they got ways of making it themselves. So it's just, it's a lot to talk about. It's a lot to talk about. I used to could not understand because even in our generation, we knew all of us know somebody that knows somebody that didn't have the same experience we had, whether it was in a single parent home or 2-parent home. And all of us know someone that grew up in the system. But now you got so much out here to contend with that they can get by without even having to ask us.
Okay.
To do certain things for. It's just a mess. The only thing that I can say now, because I'm tired of beating my brain up against a brick wall and getting nowhere, is pray about it. Pray about the things that you want to change.
That's all you can do. That's all you can do, because things do change. Things just change. Times change. Kids change. Even with there's 6 of us, my siblings, but none of our stories are the same. They definitely see things a lot differently than I see things, because by the time I came along, the last of the Mohicans, my parents were together, as far as like financially together, and like I didn't have to worry about certain things, and my father he had been murdered, and he was in the service and different things, so like that afforded my mother a lot of different things. So it was like my end was a lot different than my older sister's end, so on and so forth. So if they sit there and they're like, well, mommy this and daddy this, and we ain't have that, I don't know that same story, because all I know is, she had.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right, by that time she was a single mother. So all I seen was a lady who was a single mother taking care of these kids. Her husband got brutally murdered and all this other stuff, and she done found love again with my stepdad, and all I seen was surviving. They didn't know that same story.
Yeah, I think that's what I meant. They knew was different. We just get so passionate about stuff. That's what I meant, though, when I was telling the story on my show, and I was just saying sometimes I feel like, our kids need to cut us a break. They forget once upon a time we were teenagers. It's not that we don't understand their wants, their needs, and their emotions. We had the same wants, needs, and emotions, just in a different time. And I think what bothers me in this day and age, like you just said, they feel entitled. Not only do they feel entitled, they feel like they're entitled until their late 20s, or anything that goes on in their life in their 20s or their 30s. They feel entitled that you have to, you doing something, and you get my train of thought all off mix. So they feel entitled in their 20s and their 30s that we still supposed to provide a better life for them. And all we knew is over 18, you either had to go to school or be in college. So, what are you over there doing?
My face is all kind of fresh. My aide, my friendly aide, just want to come here. Just come say hi. That's my graphic designer, y'all.
Hi, Miss Swana.
She done gave me some goodies, y'all. She be making me some. Can I show my shirt?
Hey, fine. How are you? Don't get me to lie. Oh, you better do it, girl.
I love
Miss Tawana when my shirt's coming. I want to know.
She can't hear you because I got the thing on. Miss Tawana, she said where her shirt's at.
I know, right?
I told her when we did a pop-up sale at the church, she got to come get her a table.
Yeah. Y'all, that would be good. That would be good. That will be good. Well, it's about time for us to wrap it up anyway, because it's almost 12, and I know we've been on here for a hot little minute, but...
Oh, my God, yes!
Let me see.
Look for my Girl Scout troop.
I can't see it. Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's something on the back! Yes! Troop on the move!
Oh, that is super cute.
Oh, my God.
That is super cute.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh my God, socks. Chocolate. Yo, this is my chocolate.
Yes, that is you all day.
Oh my God, I'm great. If I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna do the ugly cry. Oh my God, I'm gonna do the ugly cry. Oh my, this is my
The
favorite. Y'all
coach.
know I love it.
Yes.
Oh my
Yes.
God, I'm gonna do the ugly cry. It's so why you
Yes.
gonna make me do the ugly cry?
Yes.
Oh, Sugar. Oh my God,
Yes.
it's on. It's so on. Oh my God,
It is
yes,
fun.
yes, yes. So you gotta
I am
get Fox. You got
excited
to
for
pop up.
you.
I'm excited for me. I'm excited to be. I'm excited to be me.
I know.
See,
I'm
you should
excited.
want to be
That's
me.
how I feel. That's how I feel every time I get a box from you. So
For real, Andre.
that's how I feel every time I
Oh,
get a box from you. All right, guys, let's wrap up this show. I got a few pointers that I want to make for Freedom Friday Girl Chat. Freedom Friday Girl Chat will only be airing 2 Fridays out of the month from here on out for season 5. This is the first one for the month of October, and we'll be back before the end of the month. Queen's Table Talk will air. The last one will air November the 2nd. It's going to be on YouTube and Spotify video. Freedom Fridays is only going to be on YouTube. So you can catch us on YouTube, but you will not be able to catch us on Spotify because your girl's trying to cut down some work over here.
it makes
And as
sense.
well as Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, we're doing the morning inspirations on 12th Street Talk Back. You can visit our lovely new website. It's been up and running for about 2 or 3 months now, and you don't have to key in www nothing. Just key in 12thstreettalkback.com. Our website will pop up for you if you want to be a guest on Freedom Fridays, Queen's Table Talk, or 12th Street Talk Back. Please fill out the intake form over on our website, as well as you can rate our show. And don't forget to rate our show right here on YouTube. Tell us what you think about Freedom Friday Girl Chat coming back with myself, Victoria J, and my excited co-host, Miss
Miss
Riri.
Riri.
So we'll catch you guys at the end of the month, the last month in October. Don't forget, if you can't do anything for anybody at any time, a kind word goes a long way, but a hot meal goes even further. Be blessed in all you do. And don't forget about your cruise. 2024 is on the way.
Take care of yourself. Don't forget to
That's
take
right.
care of yourself.